These pieces of jewellery from Italy are souvenir miniatures depicting the country's most famous sites. Ancient sites and ruins were particularly popular motifs. Such pieces were created in the 19th century specifically for tourists as reminders of their travels. However, the images they bear are not painted. They are micro-mosaics, assembled with amazing skill and artistry from tiny glass tiles. This technique was a speciality of Italian workshops, mainly in Florence and Rome. These mosaics were known as mosaici filati, or spun mosaics. The technique was developed in the late 18th century, and two of its leading practitioners were the artists Giacomo Raffaelli and later on Cesare Aguati. This new fascination with classical antiquity is explained by the moral concepts developed during the Enlightenment, which called for an aesthetic inspired by reason. The neoclassicism movement took inspiration from ancient classical art and architecture. Educational trips to Greece and Italy were no longer the preserve of the nobility, who had traditionally visited ancient sites as part of their grand tour. In search of education and edification, a self-confident middle class, with the means to afford it, went exploring the roots of European culture. Preserved in tangible form in pieces of souvenir jewellery like those you see here, people were able to take their impressions home with them and wear their memories at all times in the shape of highly decorative accessories. It was not until photography began to become more widespread that demand for such mementos declined and finally ceased entirely towards the end of the 19th century.